She got a screwdriver in her hand. We're scrubbing on the ground. I'm like, man, I'm fed up with this shit. I had enough of it, man.
Meet Eric Pierson, a serial killer with a twisted past of taking the lives of innocent women. And this time he was caught on camera, moments before he took the life of yet another victim.
I didn't hear no breathing. She wasn't moving. Everything was on him.
You have a monster that could come out.
But as you continue watching Eric, you will get a glimpse into the mind of someone who's truly, certifiably, criminally insane.
I put the blade, pointing in the blade part of it, towards her eye. She was,
Did you ever think of maybe I should try to get her some help?
On September 24th, 2021, 33-year-old Erica Verdesia left her mother's Sunrise, Florida home to buy cigarettes and never returned. Her mother and sister Lynette contacted police, who held off for 2 weeks before assigning a detective to the case. Erica had a drug problem in the past, and while the single mom had worked hard to stay clean, a relapse wasn't out of the question. Meanwhile, the two women did their own investigation, and a friend of Erica's soon came forward with what proved a crucial lead. He claimed to have recently seen Erica at a gas station in a truck being driven by 54-year-old ex-con Eric Pierson. They searched Eric's name online, and their fear turned to terror in a split second. Eric was recently released from prison after serving 27 years for the 1993 murder of 17-year-old Christina Whitaker. And in 1985, he broke into a woman's home and attempted to murder her with a knife, but served only 4 years of an 18-year sentence. Security footage showed Erica leaving in a truck matching the description, which was later determined to be the subject of a traffic stop the very next day. Erica was in the passenger seat, but the officer saw no signs of distress. Detectives tracked Eric down and brought him in for questioning. He begins his story not long after picking Erica up, who had no idea she was going on a date from hell with a deranged serial killer. The following footage has been provided by the Sunrise Police Department.
Showing her respect. I don't want to blow it out the window and the wind catches it. You know, people. We leave there. We stop at that laundromat. Maybe 10 minutes. She got some more.
What's she buying? What kind of?
I don't know if it's baby. All I know is it's called baby or tea. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I explained earlier to them, when I was growing up, it was black or brown.
Yeah.
Uppers, downers, lemon.
You don't know what she's getting, but she's getting drugs of some sort.
Pink or blue. I know she got some smoking in her truck. I really don't like that. She's turning the light on. She's like, you just got to pull over once, go home. I get someone to pick me up from your place. All right. That's what you want to do. I'll take you home right now.
Right.
I swear in my mind, boy, I said, boy, just say yes. She said, no, I'll go to your place. So I'm thinking, what the hell? I mean, I had her there one time down at the pool during daylight hours, like 2 weeks earlier.
Yeah.
Went down to University, Griffin, booked it. Can't remember if I made a Huey or went to the bridge. I really can't remember all that. I get to my condo. I'm damn near at the back.
What's the address there?
We get back there, back my truck up. She's like, "Is your mom sleeping?" I was like, "Yeah, you're not gonna be able to go out there. Plus, I smoke. You don't smoke. You got drove. You make, I don't want to cause a scene. Oh, she went down to this little theatrical shit. Yeah, man, why are you being so what? Man, what are you tripping on? I'm not tripping. What are you tripping on? Every time you get, and it's like, supposed to make you mellow, man.
Right.
What the? When you don't have a fix, I know I was one time. If I didn't get a fix, I was hysterical.
Right.
Off the chain, you couldn't talk to me, you couldn't hold me down. I'm gone. She says, give me a minute. She stepped out the truck. She got on the phone. No. What's the address here? I told her the address. She said, I got somebody bringing me something. I said, all right. She searched around on the seat. You see I just had a rock sitting on the seat. Man, you move. What are you talking about? It's got to be somewhere. She's hitting all my dome lights. This girl loves turning lights on. Hands going everywhere, pulling, we got the back doors open. She's in the front. She's pulling the sun visor down, looking in the mirror. I mean, what are you going through? I'm really trying to figure it out. I said, I'm going upstairs, man. I got to get you something to drink. My Mountain Dew was on. I said, I'm going up to get something to drink. You want something? No, I'm straight. Well, I was up there getting my Mountain Dew. As I was coming out before you get to the stairs, I seen a white car down there. She's standing at the door. Then she opens up the passenger door, gets in, and sits down. So I stayed up there. I don't want to be spooked. I don't want to be there in a sense. She gets her in the truck, so I take my time walking down the stairs. I'm down at the bottom. I walk to the end of the walkway where the 4 spaces is a blue car, my mom's car, and the people that live under us, a Toyota and a Ford Explorer, I think. I stand there, I say, hey, man, you straight? She said, yeah, you can come on over, I'm good. I said, I don't want to be around when you do that shit. Walk over there, and we sit back. She's like, can you play the radio? I said, I don't want to kill my battery. And then she said, I said, all right, whatever. Put the radio on. I mean, you know, it's
one thing after another.
So I was like, you sure you don't want me to take you home? Oh, no, you got pulled over. I can't afford to get pulled over, this, that, you know, whatever, man. She said, I get somebody, you know. I said, all right. So I was sitting there bullshitting. We, you know, just idle talk. And then I listened to her. So I was smoking a cigarette, drinking my Mountain Dew. She's like, what's up? You want some? I was like, whatever. I told you I have a libido problem. She said, oh, man, you're a man. Funny, you can't get off. I said, are you serious? You never... She says, all right. So she went and started undressing. And she said, we're going to do it right here. We can't go. I said, man, I'm not going up there with my mom. Right. She got undressed. I got undressed. I tried to pull it to the edge because I knew where I was standing. Getting in there. How am I going to go home? It started out good. And then she's like, you know, something digging in my back, whatever. I said, move it, you know. Maybe it was the buckle. But like I said, I forgot I had a screwdriver back there. I think I had a screwdriver, deodorant, and something else. And she scooted over. Now I can't do nothing. Then she said, you got a rubber on? I said, no, I ain't got a rubber. She reached in her purse, pulled the rubber out, put the rubber on. So my shit was like, somehow, took a couple minutes to get it on her. I go down and eat her. Rubber's on. She's like, eat, man. She's like, really? This unstrange behavior, so I get in her. I'm trying to, and next thing I know, she's like, did your rubber come off? I feel like your rubber came off. I said, what are you talking about? I'm still humping. And punched me. I'm like, what? She's like, man, what are you trying to do to me? I'm not trying to get pregnant. Some shit, you might have a venereal disease. This, I said, are you serious? And she's like, stop, get up. And she kicked me. Kicked me in the thigh. She kicked me with her leg again, caught me in the thigh. I was like, what's going on? She went to like bush mugging my face. I was like, what? I'm trying to push her arm back down. And she's like, you know, get off me. I was like, man, quit, slow down. And, you know, she went to swing again. I ended up dotting the side of her head like maybe 5-6 times.
Punching her side of her head.
Man, I should have just got off of her, really.
Eric has no problem admitting to brutally assaulting Erica, and he feels totally justified in doing so. In his twisted mind, she was attacking him after all. As the interview goes on, his deranged personality becomes more clear, but his blame the victim strategy won't be the defense he thinks it is, because the more he talks, the more he just looks like a total psychopath.
Now, are you standing outside the truck?
We're not standing outside the truck.
When you're...
No, I was up on the seat.
You were up on the seat. So
I had to fold her legs up some.
I got you. Okay. So you're both fully in the truck.
Right. She had her legs like up on my chest.
Okay.
Because there was no way of any other way of doing it.
Right.
When she kicked off the first time, it gave her enough separation. Okay. I don't know if the rubber's in her. I don't know if it's still in her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She did a mule kick, you want to say, caught me in the leg. Like, you know, then I was like, and caught not just enough big, you know, but her foot grazed. It's enough. I'm like, man, stop. What are you doing, man?
You feel like she's trying to hurt you at this point?
Well, you know, in a sense, because your kicks are not gentle.
Sure.
They're, you know, you are at a point of whatever your safety, what do you want to call it? Safety net, whatever. You feel like you don't want me in you if there's no rubber on.
Right.
I got to do what I got to do. So, like I say, I'm hitting her. I'm trying to calm her down, but it exploded. Next thing you know, she's trying to gouge my eyes. You know, she's trying to pull my head down. In the process, she's using her legs. I can feel them to push herself. Well, now I'm like halfway on top of her. So when she falls out the truck, I fall off the truck. Well, she goes straight down. I fall over on my back.
Now, is this out of the passenger door or out of the driver's
This is
side?
out the passenger side.
Okay.
The truck's backed in. I'm facing right in there from the driver's side to the passenger side.
How did the door get open?
We opened the doors. I told you from the get-go, we had the doors
Okay,
open.
the doors were
We
open.
had the doors open.
Right.
I had the lights off
Okay.
because my lights don't come on.
All right.
I hit the ground. I was like a little dazed in a sense, and she was like, you know, the f- wrong with you, this and that. And she went to like pounding on me, trying to kick, trying to grab my face again. I was like, you know, stop, man. She said, stop for what? This, that. And miraculously, she got a screwdriver in her hand. Well, now the situation to me escalates. You're waving something around that if it hits me, I'm going to feel it. I'm going to be hurt. Now I'm really going to be like irate. I mean, I don't know what man is not going to be in that type.
Sure.
Well, you're waving. We're already sweating from the little bit. It's humid. There's no air conditioner in my truck. I mean, you can turn it on, but there's a clog in the filter. It doesn't get cold. I'm struggling trying to keep a screwdriver from hitting me, and she's like very hysterical. I have nothing else to do. I said, man, please stop.
How are you positioned? Are you standing up or are you on the ground? At this
I'm
point?
halfway on her. We're still laying on the ground.
Okay.
Okay. I know I got abrasions. I had them on my feet, all that. I asked her, please stop. Yeah, I'll kill you or something. She's made some remark. I can't remember all that, but I'm trying to focus on this arm that's waving everywhere. Well, I get the arm. Like I said, I ain't had no recourse. I got her next to her. You know, I got her hand down, and I see the points by her throat. So I'm trying to push in. She's fighting back. Well, it goes in. I'm pushing down. My hand slips off. Her hand comes through. She hits me in the side of the head, you know, with the butt end of the screwdriver, the back of the head. I said, look, man, you're not going to, you know, stop, man. I can't say I fear for my life, but I don't want to get stabbed. See what I'm saying?
I got you.
I'm trying to hit. I can't hit. My hand, you know, it's swollen. It's not, you know. I'm not really a fighter, you want to say, in a sense. I'm more of a wrestler, but
Sure.
we're both slippery. You asked about choking her. I tried. I could not get to that point of choking her. I finally get her arm positioned between both arms, and I put the blade, you know, the pointy end, the blade part of it, towards her eye. How would you like it if I drove that? And she was like, you know, all this. I'm thinking, this is it. She's going to stop. No, she don't stop. She's still hysterical. Now it's to the point I can hear her. Ain't gonna kill me. You're laying down. Well, she caught me in the nuts. All this kicking, moving, while, you know, I wouldn't even say the nuts, the groin area.
Right.
Like I said, I had a big bruise on my right. You're right. It's, you know, if you would have did a naked cursory change after you come see me a week later, yeah, you'd see I still have a little bit of a blemish. You see the black and blue still.
Sure.
Well, you know, that's beside the point. Okay.
Considering Eric's entire story hinges on self-defense, injuries to his body most certainly are not beside the point. But it's obvious why he'd want to dismiss this, considering how ludicrous his defense is on its very face. Eric stands 6 feet 8 inches tall and is a hardened criminal who spent over half his life in prison. To think that Erica was ever a real threat to him only goes to show what a pathological liar Eric is. But make no mistake, despite claiming he only did what he had to, in the detective's eyes, this is a full confession.
She ended up grazing my balls.
Right.
Not the ball in the groin area. She's getting up, she bounces off of this truck. When she bounces off, I'm looking up at her. All I can do is grab one leg, or what I can, but it was enough to trip her up. She fell partially on me. Screwdriver, I'm still thinking about. What's up, man? I'm in a bad position. I don't know. But I know they pounding on me. And I said, boy, that screwdriver going to do. Ooh, boy, if I survive, I'm going to catch a murder charge. I already know this.
Right.
You know, we're struggling on the ground. I'm like, man, I'm fed up with this shit, man. I had enough of you, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I went into the throat. You know,
Where's the screwdriver at this point, though?
I have no idea. Being a trash or being...
No, I'm saying, how do you end up with the screwdriver in your possession at this point?
I never had a screwdriver in my hands.
Okay.
She wouldn't let go. Everything I tried, pressure point, she would not let go of the screwdriver.
So you're using her own hand to stab
Her
herself.
own hand pushing. She was still... I wouldn't say she knew what she was doing, but she was doing enough movement, kicking, and it was like a machine going without anyone driving. When I hit the second one, it was like she made a sound in her coming out of her mouth like a sigh, in a sense you could say, and her movement slowed down.
Okay.
By that time, I get the screwdriver out, I drop it on the ground, I look down at it, I'm looking around, and it, like I told you down there, it dawned on me, if someone drives down here, it's going to look funny with two naked people.
Right.
Especially with a girl laying on the ground.
Right.
So, what strength I had, I can pick her up, I'll put her in the back, on the floor, you know.
And she's breathing. She's breathing or not breathing at this point.
I heard breathing.
Right.
In a sense, I seen her chest moving.
Right.
I put her up. I pull her up more.
How badly is she bleeding?
I know she was in the back on the floor for a good 20 minutes, and there was hardly any blood. I mean, there was enough blood, but it wasn't a big pool. It wasn't like
it's on the back floorboard in the back seat of your truck.
Yeah, it's on the passenger side,
right,
on that black thing.
Yeah.
Probably some on the door. I seen splatters. On the side of that wall, there was some. And then right behind my seat where her head was, there was a patch.
Okay.
Now, blood splatters when I drop her head, you know,
right, all
that crawling around on the ground, you know, I know you got scratches on you, whatever.
Right.
You know, I know when I drop her head, blood's still going to splatter. Ain't no rocket science. I mean, everybody can figure that out.
Sure.
I've seen enough movies, read enough books.
How many times you punch her, do you think?
Probably about a dozen times.
Yeah.
I can't give it exact, but I know I was trying to calm her down, and punching her wasn't working.
How big was the screwdriver?
It was probably maybe a 6-inch length.
Phillips edge or flathead?
I believe it was a flathead.
Flathead.
The casual way Eric describes the murder is positively chilling, and so graphic that we can't even play it in its entirety. But what happened next is just as disturbing, because as Eric grappled with the fact that there was a body in his truck, a friend called to ask for a favor at the worst possible time.
What did you do then?
Like I said, I cleaned up the area on the ground. I threw what clothes fell out of the truck with us. Screwdriver I put on the floorboard. I closed the doors. I pulled out. I started up. I pulled out. I sat on the side. I was trying to get my thoughts together in a sense. I was by the staircase. I was like, Sherry called. Can you take me to work? I said, sure, I'll be there shortly. Just when I get there staying, I'll come.
But what time do you think that's about? .4:30 somewhere.
Okay. She said she had to be at work at 5:30.
All right.
I said I'd be there by 5.
All right.
Okay.
And you tell her in that phone call not to come outside, or you do a follow-up call with that?
No. When I get there, she's about to open the door because I backed my truck up all the way over that concrete slab all the way to the back.
Okay.
As I was shutting the door to get out, I heard the door open. I was like, stay in there. Don't come out. I got something I got to handle. Stay where you're at.
Okay.
What's going on? Just stay in the trailer, please. Just do me that favor, please.
Okay.
Okay. It's dark. I have no lights. I open up. I go around the truck, open up the passenger side. I'm stinking. I look around. I'm like, so I went back around to the driver's side. I lifted the seat. I had a little bag back there. I took out one tarp. The other one was under the seat. I lifted up the seat. Seen a machete. Not registered in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking more of trying to find something to cover her up. Part of that other was a sheet, bedspread, whatever you want to call it. We use it for work. Put down, painting, chiseling. I wrapped the blue thing around her. I wrapped the green thing. I wrapped what tape I can, you know, cover up the body. Like I said, at that point, it was more of like I said, it was, I know it's a crazy thing, but it's more of a respect thing. I'm going to put her somewhere. I don't want rodents to get to her. I don't want, making a stink, anything like that. At this time, I'm thinking two at the same time. Just got pulled over. This girl come up missing. going to tie it into the stop. Last time anybody seen it would be the cops and me. So where's that going to drag? I already know this is coming to my mind now. So now I already not in a desperate mode, but I'm in a mode that I have to get her out of the truck. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if I take Sherry to work, I can't drag this girl all around town. Not just on that. Mindful enough, I know Davey wouldn't have pulled me over. I mean, I could be wrong, but like I told him, I feel comfortable on Davey.
You got a Davey truck, man.
But I feel comfortable. It doesn't.
Sunrise are going to pull that truck over.
I drove around for
they're not.
3 days with only one brake light working. Somebody told me at a stoplight, "Hey, you only got one brake light on." Man, I'm on probation, all that. I'm nervous. I don't need no problem. But in Davie, I felt safe.
Sure.
I fixed it. So, anyways, I looked at the water. I drug her down to the water.
Where you wrap her up at?
Right there. When you open the passenger door.
Yeah.
The back door.
Yeah.
I laid it out on the ground.
Okay.
And I pulled her by her feet, got her, and I pulled the thing out when her head was about to the edge. I had to maneuver her body around the frame, where the door closes, so it doesn't bang up on everything. Just like you said, I got to worry about blood too, in a sense.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not going to do a superficial. I mean, I'm not going to do a superb job.
Right.
But it's still the point. Respect it. I don't care if she was dead or not. I didn't hear nothing. I felt like she was dead. I laid her down.
Did you check it all?
No, I did not check.
Okay.
I did.
You just felt she was dead.
To me, I didn't hear no breathing. She wasn't moving. Everything was limp.
Okay.
Everything was limp. When I was trying to hold her up, her head kept rolling back. If you were breathing to a degree, I felt like your head still would have been straight up.
Right.
To me, that's what I felt. I'm not an expert. I can't. Me at that time, you probably can't imagine, but possibly couldn't imagine what I'm going through at the time. All I'm trying to do is wrap a body and put it somewhere for safety.
For safety for you.
Safety for me and safety for her. Like I said, I don't need rodents or anything like that getting on.
Because you're trying to pay respect to her by putting her in a spot that she's not going to get eaten by rodents.
It's minuscule to what the matter went, but I'm trying to be respectful.
Right.
Like I said, if somebody killed me, I know they're going to just leave me wherever I got killed at.
Right.
You're not going to have respect, okay? We all grow up in a different era.
Yeah.
What I did was wrong doesn't mean that I can't think in, a righteous way in a sense. Just like you talked to me down there, you got me to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, regardless what you offer me or what you could, promise, no promise, the way you talked to me, you brought, you nothing against you. It's just what he was saying in a sense, it kind of made sense. I got to do what is right. Just like you said over there. I mean, if I probably sat here another hour, I probably would have broke down to you. I can't say. You see what I'm saying? But the whole time, not to detract from the story, you're sitting outside. I know in a sense you're stalling. You know what I'm saying? To see what he could do.
Nah, he's got tied up with a bunch. He was looking for keys.
But even just like you said, regardless what the outcome is, y'all are trying to clear the case up. I understand. I want to clear it up. You're right. It relieves some pressure from me.
Right.
Okay? I can move on. No, regardless where I'm going, I can move on.
Eric may want to move on from his latest murder and be sent back to prison where he belongs, but detectives have a few more questions first. They're aware of Eric's history of extreme violence and want to know how his twisted psychology played a part in his most recent crime. But it soon becomes clear that even though Eric's pathologies run deep, he's also the product of a prison system that only made them worse.
Let me ask you this, it's important to clarify because we talked about various things about your past a little bit.
Okay.
And, you had made a statement with regards to, and correct me if I'm wrong, you have a monster that could come out.
Yes.
Do you feel that monster came out during that fight with her?
Yes.
Okay. Because you did say to me that you reached the point where now I'm going to kill you. Now
I felt like
now I'm gonna kill you.
like my life was
right. You're trying to hurt me. You're trying to hit.
Okay, the point is right. She was trying to hurt me.
Right.
When I seen the screwdriver, it's a shock.
Right.
Where do you get a screwdriver? Later on, thinking about it, I know there was one on the seat. Must have fell out with us.
Right.
Whatever she did, or she was moving at the time when she pulled her shit and I started hitting her. Whatever the case, I don't know. I can't You know, I can't put something, what's it called, conjecture? I can't put something in a scenario that I don't know.
Right.
But I know you're waving something around that's detrimental to my health now. The way you're acting, I don't know where you're going with this.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
Your kicking on me is detrimental. That's not playful kicking.
It is, but where I guess where I'm going,
Okay.
and just, you know, talking about everything that transpired is that I do think something snapped in you, because you said at one point she's actually trying to get away and you now grab her leg.
Right.
And the fight is still on at this point, because you're engaged in it, and
Right.
and you that snapping of you want it to continue. I'm going to get you. Fair to say?
It's a fight.
Right.
It happens.
Right.
It's not, I don't care if you're fighting another man. When you're engaged, you feel like damage been done to you. You don't want a person to get away.
Right.
I understand where you're going with the conversation, but whether you're trying to enhance it or not, what I'm saying is you're in a battle.
Right. And make no mistake about it. I'm not trying to enhance the situation for you at all. I'm trying to understand.
Right.
I'm trying for us to understand, and I'm trying forever to
You're
listen
right. I
to
should have
this
let
to
her go.
understand.
But in the same token, she's got a screwdriver in her hand. How do I know she doesn't kick me, fall on me?
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree.
Okay.
You made a comment about being in prison
Mm-hmm.
and about not getting help that you thought you needed.
Don't get it in there.
Right.
You go see a psychologist or a psychiatrist in there, they want to put you on medication. If you take it, you can't function. Then at the same time, how do you protect yourself?
What caused you? And again, Eric, first and foremost, I appreciate your honesty. As I've
I
said,
have an anger issue to a degree.
Okay.
If you keep things cordial, it's like last night. Me and my mom had a little argument later on. The scene that they made last night at the stairs, I'm trying to talk to the officer. He was the Sunrise Police. I already know that because I said, you're from Sunrise. And the guy said, yeah, you're right. And then the other cop said, I'm a Davie cop. And he's drawing his gun. Let her go or I shoot. Okay, I get up to the top of the stairs. I leave her where she's at. I didn't want her to fall. They said, let her go. I'm not trying to get shot. You know what I'm saying? Then the case would never been solved. I mean, it probably would have been solved because I'm not going to survive a gunshot. I already know that. But I make it to the top of the stairs. My mother's coming out. She hears all the commotion. This cop runs past her. You looking out for her safety. She's leaning on a wall, can barely even stand. You worried about her safety? What? Me killing her? What? No, there was no possibility of that.
Right.
If that was the case, she never went home. I would never have took her home in the first place. Do you see what I'm saying? But she's my girlfriend. She's been with me for a year. You're letting her drop. Okay, whatever. I seen the other cop grab her arm. Whatever. She's still falling, but she's making. This guy's yelling at me. You're yelling if you want to be respectful, and I told him that. You know, you want to be respectful. How are you being respectful yelling at me? Just give me 5 minutes with her. I bring her. But you're yelling at me. Well, you're what? Just because you got a badge, you got the right to be yelling at me?
Right.
And then another Davie cop came upstairs and said, go in your house. I said, oh, what is this? I thought it was a free country.
Right.
There's nothing free at this moment. Okay, I'm not going in my house. I'm standing right here at the screen door. Physically put your hands on me. Simple. I mean, really, I was at that point now. It is what it is. Shoot me, kill me, whatever. I'm going to beat the shit out of one of y'all. Because the way you treat me is like I'm a piece of shit. Okay, so what? I'm a suspect in a murder. But the way it's minuscule, I know.
But I understand it. But it's getting your anger going.
It's all my turmoil.
It's getting your anger going. So let me get back to now. After she's stabbed, she's in the back of the truck. You put her in the water.
No, she's not in the back of the truck. She's in the back of the cab.
Oh, okay. Back of the cab. That's what I meant.
I wrapped her up. I drug her down.
When you wrap her up, let me ask you this. Did you ever think of maybe I should try to get her some help? Or were you just none of that crossed my mind? Because you're pissed off.
No, I'm not pissed off at this point. I'm more in sorrow. I'm not pissed off. I'm more calmer, but I'm not thinking.
How about the ride to Sherry's? Did you ever think maybe I should try to get her help?
I didn't have no thinking at all in that aspect.
You still in a rage at that point?
No, I'm not in a rage. I'm more calm, but I'm not thinking.
Not thinking straight.
I'm not a rational thinking type person. You see, you got training that would kick in, even if you wasn't a police officer. You have more.
I don't, because I'm just
But where you going? But hold up, where you going with the question is now you're making it seem like I'm a bad person.
No.
Yes, the way you just asked that question. No. Yes.
No, Eric.
I'm saying,
Eric.
Did I have any idea? I'm trying to say,
Eric.
I don't have a rational mind at that point. I just went through a battle with a woman.
I understand that, so just hear me out. I understand that. All I'm trying to say to you, no, listen to me. Don't get upset. I'm trying to understand your mindset based on what you have described.
I don't have a mindset.
Okay.
Check this out. I feel like she's dead in my eyes.
I got you.
That's all I know. Help is not thinking. If I get help, I have some explain. I'm not even thinking in that. When I'm driving to Sherry's, I'm thinking, what do I do with her?
Eric admits to not being a rational thinking person, a massive understatement to say the least. But while he's capable of some self-reflection, he's clueless when it comes to self-awareness, because despite his protests, he's now either attempted or succeeded in murdering 3 women, including a teenage girl. And for most people, that's pretty much the definition of a bad person in every way. But while he claims to have not been thinking rationally, he was rational enough to try to cover up his crimes after committing them.
If I get pulled over, I have a lot of explaining to do. I'm already in a rational mind that I have to get from point A to point B.
Right.
Put her somewhere comfortably and safe. In my mind, help was out the question a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay? If I was going to try to get her some help, just like you said, I would never grab her leg.
Right.
I was hoping that she might have ran around a truck, something, whatever.
Right.
But in the heat of the battle, this is what takes place. Rational thinking, I don't have that training in that sense. Don't forget, I just did 26 and a half years in prison. Me and a guy getting a fight, I'm walking away, I'm leaving there. I don't give a struggling, he's moving or not moving. Do you see what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
I still have this fight instinct in you that you don't think of rational thinking until you completely calm down.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it can make me look like bad on the tape to the DA. What I'm saying is, I've been out 13 months.
Yeah.
I'm striving. I haven't had no problems as far as violence since I've been out. I had a few road rage cases. I had a guy get out of his vehicle with a knife, and I jumped out my truck and said, "What's up? What's that mean?" And when the man seen my size, he jumped back in his truck, rolled his windows up.
Sure.
End of story.
Yeah.
You got a knife. God damn, you got to be a... You got a knife? I mean, I don't have a weapon.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, your mindset, his mindset, I don't have a mindset of thinking of anything.
And that's what I was just trying to understand.
Even if I was hurt, I wouldn't even stop.
Right. Getting back to that night, you weren't on drugs at all?
No drugs.
Drinking at all?
I had a few.
Okay.
I think I had like 2 beers.
Okay. So you were, in your mind, you were sober?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. All right. When you got to, let me ask you this question. When you got to that night, did you have intentions of wanting to kill her that night?
No, definitely not.
All right. And even when...
I have maybe intentions of lovemaking or, snuggling up. I didn't even have the intentions of even... She had to bring that up.
Right. All right. Where you go?
I did. I tried to bet. Like I said, there was intuition that kicked in. You feel the hairs on your neck. Something's not right. You're right. I'm on probation. I'm dealing with. You can look it up. What was her last name? A girl just died in Davie 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
She was my girlfriend for a while, even though I was with Sherry. Sherry didn't know. Sherry worked nights. I was going out with this girl.
Right.
She was 36 years old. Pretty girl. She wanted to detox now.
Yeah.
3 days after detoxing, she had a stroke, died. Her best friend, which I know, Chandra, she tried to keep her alive till the ambulance got there. Didn't happen. Chandra called me the next day and said, Danielle died. I know another girl, Stacy. She just had an episode 2 weeks ago. Right. Her husband, he's in prison. He's like, his father was my godfather. Why I'm attracted or they're attracted to me, I don't know, but I know I have a vehicle, I have a license. They don't. A lot of times they want to go shopping, laundry, I'll get there. And I don't like going get there. Why do you have to go? I'm not on. But I was at that point one time, I know. But like I said, I never experienced what I went through that night.
Yep.
whether it's an avenue or whatever, I never experienced, and I hope I never do. I've been in a joint a long time. I fought people. I know they were high. They never had what this girl had.
What all her stuff? What did she have that night that you got rid of?
Her pants, her shirt, panties, bra. She had a purse. Everything I could. Threw most of her stuff in her purse. Threw it in the trash can up front. Went to
Up front where?
my condo.
In your condo, okay.
Right. That went to the dump. There's
Okay.
nothing in that trash can.
Right.
I mean, I know y'all want evidence.
No, I'm just curious where the stuff went.
There was like
What about the screwdriver?
screwdriver, the rags and shit I had. I dropped Sherry off at work. I drove behind. They got a garbage can. I threw everything in there.
Okay. Where does Sherry work at?
KFC.
Okay, so you threw it behind the KFC. You threw.
Yeah, they
stuff?
have 2 dumpsters back in there.
Where's the KFC at?
David, 4200.
And this was that morning when you drove her to work. You got rid of the stuff. Okay.
What about the clothes you were wearing? You remember?
I got rid of my shit too.
They're in the same place?
Yeah.
The KFC.
No, I threw clothes and all that. Her purse stuff went in the dumpster. Everything else, her clothes went there. My clothes, when I was like in the truck, I can't let her see me with all the shit on.
Yeah.
I took rags, like I said, I cleaned off what I could. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She got in the truck. She was trying to look at me. I left out. I take her to work. On the way there, she's like, "What? You look like tired, very tired." I said, "I am. It's been a long night."
Yeah.
So what's going on? I said, "There's nothing going on, babe.
Yeah.
Take you to work. We'll go home and get some hours. Call me when you get off, and I'll come pick you up."
Yeah. Since you've been out of prison, where else have you been living?
Right there, I haven't been living nowhere else.
So when you got released from prison, where was your last stay in prison?
I was at Central Florida Reception Center at East Unit.
So when you got out of there, you went straight to live with your mom and Davey?
Sure.
You didn't live anywhere else?
No, sir.
All right.
Can't live nowhere else. I was on a curfew at the time.
No, I hear you.
Can't live nowhere else.
Eric, just to clarify, her clothes and all.
You're not going to get it. Everything went to a dumpster.
No, I don't. Hold on.
Everything. I mean, you can ask the question 3 more times. We can tell you the same answer. Everything went to a dumpster.
I appreciate that.
Everything. It wasn't even a fact of, evidence or
Would
whatever.
you mind showing these guys where you dumped it?
Yeah, when we go, if you're going to take me home, I'll show you in the dumpster.
We're going to.
Considering Eric's decades of experience with the system, he should know better than anyone that he isn't going home today, or possibly ever again for that matter. He's confessed to multiple crimes that could put him away for life or even to death. But despite claiming to be sorry for what he's done, we'll let you decide whether he really means it.
If you had anything you can say about this whole situation, what would you want to say?
I'm very sorry. I mean, in a sense, I'm very apologetic on the outcome, how it came.
Yeah.
I feel like really both sides, but get you fixed sometimes. I've never had a violent act. The only time I ever did a violent act is when I drank whiskey. The way the situation went down, yes, it was uncalled for. I think, like I said, it could have been handled a different way. Maybe if I had a different thinking pattern after not doing so many years in the joint on a fight or flight, And the same token, my condolences would be to the family, but I don't think I have the guts to say it to their face because I couldn't deal with turmoil or the aftermath of that.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, pretty girl, you got to have it. I can't fault you for that, but what the habit made, the outcome of everything become.
All right. Do you feel any better?
Not really, no.
No?
No.
What's bothering you?
Because it's always been in my mind, like I just asked you earlier. I feel like, just like you said, I should have checked if she was breathing.
So that's bothering
I'm
you.
saying, if I put her in the water and she was still breathing, I don't know if you ever drowned. I drowned.
I never have it.
Even though I'm big, I see myself going to the bottom.
Yeah.
And there was nobody, I thought there was nobody around, but somebody saved my life.
Okay.
But when you breathe in water, it's talk to a drowner.
We'll get the results of that and I mean it with everything I have. I don't have that answer right now.
I understand that that's still going on.
You know, so
that's the only thing I want to know. I hope she was dead before I put her in the water.
as far as tonight, you haven't taken any drugs tonight?
No, sir.
Have you drank at all tonight prior to coming here? Have we mistreated you at all?
No, sir.
We've been decent to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any threats, any promises, anything that was made to you other than letting you go home and see mom after we're done here?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Any questions you have of me? Listen, I mean, and I said it before we came in here. Thank you. Thank you for your honesty. You know, you're allowing a family closure with regards to what transpired. So I appreciate you being honest about it. All right. And one last question: after you put her in, did you keep revisiting the shoreline there and putting more stuff on top of that area?
I just put that. At first, I threw the limbs and I took them off.
Okay.
I left the blocks there. When I first put the blocks, I put them there. That water rises and lower at time.
Right.
Okay. I was more worried about the water lowering too much because if she's exposed, that means critters can get to her. I'm sure some did in a sense.
Right.
But I know in my heart, I don't want nobody knowing on me.
Right.
I'm hoping the water and being where it's at in the shade and keep the water cool, keep the body how it should be. Eventually, like I said, I know y'all are going to find it.
Right.
I want as less damage to it. I mean, the family's got,
While it's nice of Eric to want to protect his victim's body, there's something he could have done that was much nicer: not killing her in the first place. But as the interrogation comes to a close, it's obvious that without Erica's mother and sister taking charge of the investigation, there's a good chance this crime would have gone unsolved, and Eric would have been free to kill again.
Did you tell anybody you did it? No.
I would never tell them. Come on, man.
I'm just asking. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I understand. I would never tell them. Why would I? That would be like bragging.
No, I don't think so. Just sometimes you just need to confide in somebody that you did something that you're not happy about.
I just confided in y'all.
I know you did.
Why would I tell anybody else? That would give them ammo on me in a sense. Because that's what people do in life.
No, I'm like, if I do something, I tell my best friend. I do.
I don't have a best friend.
No, I hear you.
It's not surprising that Eric doesn't have any friends, and if he wasn't such a remorseless psycho killer, we might just feel bad for him. But considering everything we've heard him say during this interview, we don't, and the criminal justice system may soon feel the same way. Eric Pierson was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. His case is still pending. If convicted, he could face life in prison or the death penalty. Thank you for watching today's video. Whether you're new here or have been with us for a while, check out one of the craziest cases I've ever covered right here, or one of my newest uploads right here.